Everybody.
Can you hear me?
My volume is down. Carrie, you there?
Yeah, we can get started with in-person questions whenever you're ready.
Eric, what kind of changed after that first quarter offensively? From our perspective, it kind of looked like they got a little bit physical. It seemed like there were less whistles and seemed to kind of get y'all a little bit out of whack at that point.
A little bit. I mean, we didn't shoot well. Like, I think the first thing looking at when you're 3 for 21 from three, we missed some bunnies. Like, we have players miss shots they don't normally miss. So that happened. Obviously I got the tech, so I felt some way about it. And you guys can read a box score. But yeah, we got a little out of whack. Missed some shots. They got, they doubled a couple times and we got the ball out of it and got some good looks and didn't knock them down. I think we'll shoot it better. I don't think we're gonna shoot like that. I don't think Ariel and E are gonna miss some of the looks they missed. So that part doesn't really worry me long term. We can clean up our defensive rebounding. I think first and foremost, there was a couple possessions where they got second chances and then we started putting them on the line.
Be a little bit more from the bench. It didn't have the same, I guess the bench didn't have the same impact as that first game.
No, we missed some shots. Fouled a little bit too much. I thought their bench was good. I didn't really think our bench was that bad other than missing some shots. But I thought their bench was good and gave them a lift. But our bench, they were big the other night and we'll need them to be big on Tuesday.
First tech, did you get your money's worth?
Yeah. I'm not going to give more money, but I got my money's worth. I should say the refs did a good day. Lost one of the refs had to leave and two of them, Jeff and Amy, did a good job.
Is that how it just do they not usually carry
playoffs? You have an alternate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. How much of a strain does that kind of put on them? From your perspective, did that just because they're so spread out, or did that not feel any different than when they had all three out there?
I didn't feel a difference. I thought they did a good job. I mean, they saw some things that are tough to see with two, like they saw a defensive 3 seconds and I'm sure there's some stuff in transition that's hard to see, but no, they did well.
Well for Shakira in that third quarter. Well, really second half, she picked it up.
Helped, Bree Jones was in a little bit of foul trouble, so she couldn't, put her hands on her too much, but Kira was able to get her in space a little bit one-on-one. I think sometimes teams are so geared up to play Elena that they're going to give Kira some room. I don't even think we tried to run a couple things for her. I don't think we scored on those, but she scored on some other plays.
I was going to say, when shots aren't falling from the outside, do you actively kind of go into her, or was she kind of creating on her own?
I think she had space. Like they were loading up so much. They were switching and loading up so much on, Elena and Ariel and Tosh that, she got to catch it with a lot of space to work. So you can see she can get downhill with her dribble and she's so shifty. Sometimes that's a way to get her a shot, is just to let her play off the other ones and have a lot of space to operate.
Then one last.
Yeah.
Did you like the shots that you were getting? They weren't going down, but did you like the shots you were getting?
Sometimes, yeah, not consistently through the game. But we had enough good looks that if we hit a few, I think it might have been a different story.
Yeah. We talk a lot about you can learn a lot in a win, but you learn a lot more through a loss. What did you see from this team that you can maybe just build off coming into this next game?
I think our focus was good. Like even when we were struggling, we had a couple possessions here or there, maybe in the second quarter, and then a couple times on the boards where we were leaking out a little bit. But I think our focus stayed good. We kept a pretty level head, and we talked about we're playing them twice. We got to turn around and go take care of our home court.
Also, I guess, is it encouraging that even though the shots weren't falling, the game was still within hand? If you say to make those bunnies, so when you look at the tape, it's like we missed those bunnies, but look, we were still in the game despite 3 for 21.
Yeah, pro basketball, you got to make some shots to win. I mean, our effort's good. Our effort is always good. We should never have to be talking about we need more effort. So, I just like the way we're competing. So yes, but that's not enough.
And then last one, just we're sitting so close with Kareem. Just the talking, everybody's talking, even on the bench, on the floor, so much talking. I think that's the little things that separate the good teams from the great. You just talk about the communication today as well.
one of our goals was being connected and trying to problem solve on the fly. And I think they're really making an effort to do that. You see them all just having little 2 and 3 person conversations coming out of timeouts, and Tosh and Slim and I and Christy have a good dialogue, through the game, talking about what they see. So that's going to be if we keep that attitude through the season, I think we'll get better and better.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yep.
Jen?
Eric, picking up on the Shakira questions, we talked to you pregame a little bit about how she played on Friday and kind of trying to get her going or figuring out how best to use her. What to you looked most different from Friday night to today in her performance? And does this give you a better sense of how you use her with everybody?
Well, the first thing I liked better from her tonight was her rebounding. Before any of the scoring, she made an effort to rebound the ball. And that was, as she's locked in a battle with Brianna Jones on the glass. So I like that the best. The offense, it's going to be, she is still a product a little bit of how everybody else gets defended. But we did a good job just letting her, not crowding her when she did catch it in space, and we were able to let her play downhill a little bit. But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what works best for her offensively. You only get so many opportunities to draw up plays for Elena and Ariel and those guys. So we got to sprinkle it in for her.
Is that something you talk with her with? I know you're open with communication with all your vets and especially the captains and such, but for a second year player, how much are you getting her input on that sort of thing?
Yeah, working on it for sure. Probably same as most of them. She doesn't see yet the same variety of coverages that Elena does. So we're not really working through all that stuff, but we are talking about how to play off people, where some spaces are that she can play in, some things she can do when she has the ball in her hands, so she doesn't try to empty the bag all at once, to use certain skills at the right times.
Last thing for me, just you guys have such a deep post group, but when you think about Shakira's game, is there something that she brings that you don't have in other players on the roster? Like if she's not in the game, you're missing X.
I mean, she's our most mobile big for sure. Like just her athleticism. She's shifty. Elena's so skilled, mobile with the ball, and here's just a live wire. She's spinning and shaking, and all that stuff is coming out. But it's hard to replace that athleticism and that bounciness that she has.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Thanks.
That's all the time we have. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, to start with you, Elena. You guys got out to that fast first quarter, and then it felt like the game got a little bit more physical, and that seemed to,
Understatement.
very much an understatement.
Yeah.
How much did that kind of affect the offense going forward? Because it kind of seemed like as it got a little bit physical, it seemed like it kind of, I don't know if it's jostled you guys off of your cuts, kept you off spots, but it just seemed to kind of, I don't know how much it affected you guys from.
Yeah, it slowed us down for sure. And also certain missed shots probably wouldn't have been missed shots if the game was called differently. But I think the best way to kind of combat that is to keep pace, because it's hard to grab, to hold, to foul, all that stuff when we're moving in pace and with more space. So unfortunately, slowing down made that worse for us. We got to keep up the pace so we can keep people moving, so you can see, when people are being held, all those things.
Obviously 3 for 20 from behind the arc is not a great thing.
Yeah, it's not good either.
Did you like the looks that you guys were getting, or was it not exactly the best looks either?
I mean, some I liked, some no. Some we just weren't able to really get into the flow of things, and it felt like, shot clock's going down, got to get a shot up. So, well, we got to clean some things up. But yeah, and we got to shoot better. That's tough to win a game when, we're not shooting too great.
You kind of really got going there in the second half. What did you see? What was working well for you?
I was just finishing well. My teammates were finding me, and I was just finishing underneath the rim, trying to get out the screens fast, and just trying to be more prepared of what the defense was about to do.
So I was gonna say, is that consciously like, hey, I see something, let me go, go get it a little bit, or from what you're saying, I guess from the way the defense was playing, you guys say, okay, now I can be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I think it's all just about timing. Knowing, when you should probably, do certain things and when you should, take advantage and be aggressive one-on-one. Still figuring it out. So
Someone's like messaging you. Just gonna X
This
that
not
out.
MacBook, you can't do not disturb.
Oh, there we go again. Okay, I don't know.
It's been right answers back to.
Yeah, right back.
Don't y'all know what's going on?
First of all, man, I just want to talk about the mental toughness of when you're not getting calls, you're down from 3 refs to 2. How does
Yeah.
that kind of play into like, okay, I got to maybe watch my spot, and like this could be a blind spot for a ref that don't see a foul. Like, how do you kind of block that in mentally, knowing that it's a disadvantage now?
I'm just gonna say it. I'm so sick of being treated like a rookie with
Yep.
calls. If I get fined, whatever, it's unbelievable. I've been through too many back surgeries to whatever. But anyways, I just keep attacking. In the end, I hope that because I can elevate and jump over people, you can see that my
Yeah,
arm
it's
is
a
getting
foul every
hit.
time. They're knocking
I
her
mean,
off.
yeah, I
like,
just-
position.
I just keep attacking and hoping that it'll change, and hopefully it'll change next game. But there's really nothing you can do in those moments. You just, when you see something, you got to still attack it. And then thank goodness for Kira, who stepped up and took over and was able to finish through some stuff. But you just got to keep playing through it.
Kind of want to follow up on your path, though. You've been in this league so long, it looked like the game was just like in slow-mo for you. You get to
Yeah.
your spots easy. You had your son off their game. Kind of ex-coach, I want to just, that's why I prefaced it with this. Although the shooting was off, the defense was still stifling you. Still, if you made maybe 10 more shots, the game would have
Yeah.
been over. How encouraging is that, knowing that you still would have won the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to know that we were in it the whole time. This is also a great place to play. Like, it's a tough arena to play in. They've got great fans. So to know that it was just, a couple things that we can clean up and now we get to go home, that's a great thing for us.
First off, Kira, I think that New York game put everybody on notice. All day I heard, we're coming for them, we're coming for them. So even though the Aces are the champions, just like you are now the hunted now, how are you adjusting to getting everybody's best shot just 2 games in?
I'm
So
sorry.
how are you adjusting, it's like fans and now it's like teams of opposing, like we got Shakira, you're on the map now, like how you adjusting and
I don't pay attention to none of that. Like, we focus on what we have. We don't focus on other teams. We just trying to be the best us, and then by the time we get to where we need to show up, it should be together. So it's early. Nobody's a champion right now. No one cares about what happened last season. So
and then one more for you, I noticed, put it on film. Yeah, the spin cycle move on Bree Jones, the guard play, like you said, big guard. You're moving like a guard. What went into just the footwork of your game? How did you get that so perfect?
it definitely wasn't perfect. My first half was a little too rushed. But I was just taking what she was giving me, playing more at a slower pace, but using my quickness and using my counters. So that's how I was able to score those.
Appreciate it.
Jen?
Hey, Kira. Hey, Elena.
Hey.
Picking up on that, Kira, the other night, 6 points, I think 3 boards, and tonight double. What felt most different to you out there? Kind of picking up on what you've been saying so far.
I think my energy was more higher this game. Just my effort. I felt like I finally was able to get a little bit more of a groove of the feel of the game. It's not the same as overseas, especially in Israel. So just getting back to putting it all together. First game it was trying to just knock the dust off, but we're putting it together. So.
And then Elena, for you, just want to ask you a little bit about Kira. First off, like, how is that chemistry going between you two? If I remember right, you guys had some nice exchanges during the game. And then, I asked Eric this too, but you guys have so many post players. I'm curious what what Shakira brings, you think that no one else on your team brings?
Yeah, I love playing with Kira. She had so much growth as on and off the court. Yeah. But Kira's got a knack for like really good timing on her cuts, where she allows me to, try to attack first, but then when she sees like, okay, the double's coming, she's really good at getting behind the defense and I can find her. Obviously she's got the length, the size, and she's going to finish, and she has great hands too. So it's so fun playing with Kira. The sky is the limit for her. So she's just going to continue to keep improving. And I think together we can be a really tough duo.
Awesome. Thank you. Safe travels to you both.
Thanks.
That's all the time we have. Thank you both.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Now it's time.